Welcome in. Today we had a game between the Buffalo Sabres and the Boston Bruins. And the starting goaltenders here at the start of the period were Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and Joonas Korpisalo for the Boston Bruins. And this is from a Sabres fan perspective, but again, I respect the heck out of the Bruins. I love what they're doing. I love me some David Pastrnak, some Charlie McAvoy. You know I respect the Casey Middlestat pickup. But as always, we have our handy-dandy notes here. So let's get into it. We have an early penalty by Buffalo going to Rasmus Dahlin for cross-checking. That gives the power play to Boston. Alex Tuck rings one off the post on a short-handed drive stolen by Ryan McLeod. Sabres attackers doing well to pressure the Bruins in the neutral zone. Something we won't see even strength throughout this game. Zach Benson with a good curl drag shot on a 2-on-2 short-handed. Sabres ice the puck to end the extra man, 3-on-1. Dahlin to Tage but doesn't connect, and that's Tage Thompson. Sabres looking strong early here. Good pass by Noah Ostlund, but Norris can't hold on to it. Tanner Jeannot getting into it with Connor Timmins after the whistle. And that's Jeannot on the Bruins and Timmins on the Sabres. UPL nearly sets up Beck Malenstein for breakaway. Nice active stick in the passing lanes by the Sabres. Nice pass by Jason Zucker to Matthias Samuelsson. Shot goes high. Nice rip by Pastrnak, David Pastrnak. Pad save by UPL. No Zach Metza tonight. Connor Timmins is on that third pairing. Didn't love that look personally. I've only seen Zach Metza in that spot, and Connor Timmins just didn't look as sound as Metza did in my opinion. Maybe Timmins is coming off of a low-grade injury and hasn't had a whole lot of time to acclimate to the system. Not 100% sure there, but I did miss seeing Metza. Bruins kicked out of a neutral zone face-off. Nice pressure by the Sabres' fourth line. Jeannot has a good opportunity close to the net. Bounces away off a stop by UPL. Sabres finishing their checks in this one. And then it's David Pastrnak who opens the scoring on a snapshot from a pass behind the net. Score is now 1-0 Buffalo. And shots are 5-1 for the Bruins at 8:25. Not a great shooting start by Buffalo. The shots were not the whole story though. They had a lot of good pressure at least. We had a follow-up ripper by Fraser Minton. Stopped by UPL. Nice defensive sticks by the Sabres. Bruins have the momentum though. Puck jumps Dahlin's stick on a pass and creates a Bruins opportunity. Quickly broken up. Lucas Reichel with a great turnover. Ryan McLeod goes down. Delayed penalty. Saved by Korpisalo. And that penalty goes to Elias Lindholm for tripping 2-minute minor. Nice move by Tage with a between-the-legs pass out front to the Bruins goal. Nasty zone entry by the Sabres. Quickly broken up and not nasty in a good way. It was bad. The Sabres let one outside the zone again. Passes are bouncing a bit tonight. Tage Thompson with a nice move passes to Jason Zucker, who scores. Score is now tied 1-1. 2-on-1 for the Bruins, though, quickly after. And that breaks up Sabres' play, but it's saved by UPL. Big glove save by UPL from a long-range shot. Shots are 9-4 Bruins at 3:30 remaining. Nice passing play by Sabres inside the Bruins zone. Timmins with a big hit along the boards near the Bruins bench. Jeannot gets the zone entry, pass at Sabres defenseman but saved by UPL. Bruins with a second win late in the second period with about 2 minutes remaining. But offside stops the play. Sabres ready to play defense for the rest of the period. Puck catches Korpisalo by surprise but no goal. And a first score tied 1-1. Shots are 11-8 for the Bruins. Bruins have looked good in spurts. Sabres have looked good throughout other than those Bruins spurts. And that would eventually be their downfall is those Bruins spurts. The Bruins are really good at taking advantage of opportunities and creating those opportunities. They know when to put on their foot on the gas and when to lay off and apply the brake. But we come to the start of the second period. Bruins looking scrappy to start the period. Sabres do respond. Thompson sends one out front but can't connect with Krebs. Alex Tuck looks a bit flat-footed on this line. Huge saves by UPL on follow-up opportunities by a Bruins steal. Fraser Minton is looking good. David Pasternak rips one from between the circles, stopped by UPL. Not a lot of sustained pressure from either team in these first 4 minutes. Breakaway by Mark Kastelik, great. Back check by Bowen Byram to catch him. And a big save by UPL. Darlene to Thompson, past middle ice traffic in the Bruins zone. Pass through the middle of the ice in the Bruins zone. Bruins making sure Sabres know they are there. Korpisalo takes a shot at Beck Malenstein. And then a penalty to Jonas Korpisalo for roughing and a penalty to Beck Malenstein for slashing. And we get 4-on-4 play. Pasternak near breakaway but gets caught in his feet. And what happened is his stick toe-picked into the boards and he kind of tumbled after. The Sabres need to watch the cherry pick. 3-on-1 penalty breaks it up. Penalty goes to Charlie McAvoy and Josh Norris. The two calls are interference and holding. This is an even up penalty. We go to even strength, 5-on-5. Poke check by Luukkonen, but Victor Arvidsson, fresh out of the box, buries one. The score is 2-1 Bruins. Shots are 19-14 for the Bruins. Sabres need to watch these turnovers. Darlene shovels one into the center of the ice. Krebs rips one off the post on a 2-on-1. And then a penalty to Fraser Minton for tripping 2-minute minor. Neutral zone turnover by Sabres creates a near miss. Buffalo net comes off its hinges. A lot of passing by the Sabres in the Bruins zone. End of penalty, nice shot by Oslin to step out front. At this point, I said I'd love to see a line of Tage, Oslin, and Krebs. But we get good defense by the Sabres on Pasternak. He was looking for the penalty draw, but didn't get it because of the Sabres' amazing defense right there. 2-on-1 for the Bruin pass goes just ahead of his teammate for the Bruins. Thompson rips one, stopped by Korpisalo, but lost for a moment. Second shot to go off the inside of Korpisalo's blocker. Turnover in the neutral zone by Buffalo again. Shots are 23-19 for the Bruins at 3 minutes remaining. Bruins kicked out of a Sabres zone draw. Sabres with sustained pressure by the fourth line. And that was for nearly 90 seconds of offensive zone time. Bruins tired, but Sabres can't make them pay. Lose zone twice. End of second period, and I said the Sabres need to watch the neutral zone at this point. The turnovers are killing them. And we get to the start of the third period. Sabres looking a bit sloppy in the first 2 minutes. Sabres with another neutral zone turnover. Tage turns it over in the neutral zone, but then penalty for Logan Stanley tripping. 2-minute minor. Bruins on the power play. Zach Benson absolutely undresses Korpisalo. Sabres goal. Things get chippy after the goal. Scores tied 2-2 now. Not what you want to see after a goal, but great work by the fourth line, starting on a turnover by Benson. And that is the penalty by Mason Lohrei for a cross-checking. Just after Zach Benson scored the goal, he cross-checked him into the net. Shots are 25-21 at 14:39. Tage Thompson to Jason Zucker scores on the snapshot. Score is now 3-2 Sabres on the power play goal. Puck bouncing a bit out there. UPL gets his first save after the flurry with the flash of the leather from distance. Nice save by UPL with traffic in front. Shot by Arvidsson, stopped by UPL. Massive rebound, but quickly swallowed up by UPL. Dangerous soft shot by Lindholm's hits a skate and goes wide. UPL needs to get a hold of these shots. A lot of glove side shots bouncing out of his glove. Norris takes one away at the blue line, but is defended by Nikita Zadorov. Casey Middlestat scores on a bounce shot that goes off the back wall. Score is tied 3-3. Shots are 30-24 for the Bruins at 5:11. Sabres sticks seem like they've got butter on them in this one. End of third period, scores tied 3-3. And I said you have to respect Pasternak's motor. Start of overtime, Pavel Zacha scores early in this one, 5-hole, beats UPL, and that brings it to the end of the game. Score for the final is 4-3 Bruins. And my final thoughts in this one are Bruins look like a fast team that have snipers that can take advantage, and the Bruins are excellent at forcing turnovers in the neutral zone. On the Sabres side, Sabres can never be counted out, and Sabres look sound defensively. It's just their offense could use a bit of boost, especially in the neutral zone. They have a bit of trouble in that area. But overall, a fun little game to watch. Not a ton happened in the third period outside of the goals, but that is it for the game. And so that is it for this video. I've got a discussion post due in within the hour, so wish me luck on that. But that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.